America, Representative Stefanik, you know, we have separation of powers not to investigate former presidents, but to keep existing presidents, you know, checked and balanced. How many hearings have been held in the House of Representatives to look at the Manchurian candidates' various financial issues, those of his son, those of his brother, and his failures to uphold the Constitution on the border and elsewhere? Have there been any hearings at all?
There have been 0 hearings, and in fact, Republicans will hold this administration accountable as we work to earn the majority. There have been 0 hearings, particularly primetime hearings, when it comes to the border crisis, the crime crisis in America, the skyrocketing gas prices, as well as the inflation crisis caused by Joe Biden's reckless tax and spend policies, of course, supported by House Democrats and Democrats in the United States Senate. And that's one of the reasons why I believe Democrats are going to fail miserably at the ballot box this year, because those are all the top issues that the American people, that I hear about from my constituents, and that people are hurting across this country because of those failed policies that you talked about in your monologue, Mark. And when it comes to the illegal ties to crime that Joe Biden is directly involved with his son Hunter, the American people deserve to know that. The fact that the mainstream media is participating in essentially a cover-up of Hunter Biden's illegal relationships with China, his illegal relationships with other foreign adversaries and entities that he should not be involved with, and Joe Biden profited from that. So we intend to investigate. We've already made those document requests, and we are not going to hesitate when it comes to utilizing our subpoena power, because, again, the American people deserve accountability and deserve an investigation to what I believe is the Biden crime family. You have the entire Joe Biden family profiting personally off of Joe Biden's position when he was a sitting vice president. That is unacceptable in America. And imagine if the Republicans ever did that. Democrats would be investigating absolutely every aspect of that, and yet in this case they look the other way on all these shameful, shameless, and illegal controversies from Hunter Biden.
Of course, you won't have the benefit of the media, which the Democrat Party has. But that said, you make a very important point. They're trying to concoct some relationship on this January 6th committee, and the media are too, between Trump and the violence that took place on that day, even though they can't square it. They have to go to social media to look at what some kooks had to say, or you're right, they have to cherry pick information, or you can't cross-examine witnesses or have exculpatory information or anything of that sort. And by all means, we don't want to talk to Nancy Pelosi. And yet, in the case of Joe Biden, if you're a lawyer, if you're a litigator, you're a prosecutor, you're a political operative, there's stacks of this stuff in front of you showing conflicts, showing monies, showing you're dealing with foreign entities and you're not registered, raising serious tax questions, stacks and stacks of it, and they ignore it. So are the Republicans ensuring, you say they've asked that these documents be protected and so forth, are the Republicans ensuring that these documents will be protected, even with this January 6th committee? What has the response from Nancy Pelosi been?
The response from Nancy Pelosi for the January 6th committee has been no response. They have not complied with our request to preserve the documents and turn the documents over. So we intend to pursue that when we earn the majority. When it comes to the multiple controversies of Joe Biden's illegal entanglements with Hunter Biden's illegal business operations, we have made those requests in terms of document preservation. We have made those requests in terms of turning over the documents. They have stonewalled us. But again, when the House flips as we work to earn the majority, we are going to ensure that transparency and accountability and the actual role of Congress, which is to have oversight, that's an important role that a Democrat-controlled Congress has absolutely failed on, that we hold them accountable. And it's not just the Biden crime family issues, it's issues like the border. They have refused to turn over documents and to make administration officials available when it comes to the border crisis. Joe Biden is not living by the rule of law. In fact, they are avoiding anything and having wide open amnesty policies that are not according to the rule of law, not according to what's, again, what Congress passed. And it has been an absolute disaster. It's the most open border and most insecure border in our nation's history. So we intend to use those oversight tools, which are so important in Congress, because it ensures good government, it ensures transparency, and ensures accountability on behalf of hardworking American taxpayers.
I notice in the context of abortion, Joe Biden mentioned that poor 10-year-old little girl who was raped and received an abortion, went from one state to the other. What Joe Biden didn't mention is she was raped by an illegal alien. And what Joe Biden doesn't mention is how many rapes and molestations are occurring on the southern border as a result of his refusal to secure the border. How many child molestations are taking place. They're not keeping track of that. Maybe we can compel them to do that. Well, I want to thank you, Congresswoman, and keep up the great work. And we pray and we hope, and we, the people, have to make it happen, that the parties change in the House of Representatives. All my best. God bless you.
Thank you, Mark.